So yesterday we have discussed about the drawbacks in the traditional infrastructure, how the traditional infrastructure runs their business infrastructure, and how to what are the drawbacks in the existing infrastructure, and how the VMware new product we were talking about has overcome that problem. So three guys formed an organization called VMware, and they have developed a new operating system. They have developed a new operating system, and which will allow us to create virtual computers on top of one single physical computer. So, computer physical server installed with the newly developed operating system. On top of that, they are creating virtual computers. These virtual computers are named as VM, virtual machine, but it is virtual. VM, and it works exactly like a physical computer. It will run with some operating system. It will have an operating system, and some application will be running on top of the virtual computer. And here also some operating system. On top of that, application. So can you guys see my screen?
Not able to see your screen.
No,
Durga.
we are not able to see.
I'm dropping and connecting. How about now?
Yeah, now we can able to see.
Thanks. So here, so we have a physical server running with some two virtual machines. On top of that, individual operating system and application. So virtual computers are created on top of this operating system. So that's how they have developed a new operating system. And this operating system, they named it as ESX, Elastic SkyX. So stretchable, elastic. We know material how it works, right? It's a stretchable. You can increase or decrease the capacity. The same way here also we can increase or decrease the resource utilization. When you create more virtual machines and power on them, resource utilization will increase. When you power up them, they will it will decrease again. So it's a stretchable. So then it's a technical word called elastic. Elastic, and it's unlimited up to, just say like sky. They named it as, and X. I don't know what is that mean X. Okay, sky X. Sky means you target high. So some logical meaning in the third-party blog I read. I don't know what is their inner meaning. Elastic is stretchable, that everyone knows. And this machine now we call it as ESX server. And this one is called virtual machine, but it is virtual. Only on the screen you can see, and it helps to run the business application. And we know how the drawbacks have been overcome. Okay. Now, let's say we are the administrator sitting here with a laptop or desktop. Okay, and there is an ESXi machine remotely which is connected in the internet. There is an internet connection between you and the ESXi machine. If you want to power off this virtual machine, if I ask you to power off this machine, we'll open a browser, connect to one ESXi machine with an IP address. In our lab it's 150. In real time also it will take this much amount of time. It's responding very slow. Please bear with me. I need to connect. It worked fine until now. Not sure what else it happened in between. So let it connect. We will see the theoretical part here. So if you want to manage virtual machines which are running on this ESXi machine using a browser, we will connect to this machine. We will enter this machine network address. In our lab, we have assigned an address called 192.168.1.150. We will discuss about this network, what is this IP address, how we assign, where we can see and all later. During networking topic, we will discuss this IP address. As of now, we have assigned one IP address, which is basically for the communication. So from here, if you want to communicate with this machine, you need this IP address. So from here, open a browser, enter this IP address. That's what we are trying. It's bit responding very slow. We'll fix that. So here, you'll ask for username and password, and we know the username is root all the time for any ESXi version, and the password is the password that we have set during the OS installation. In our lab, at least, it's a using this username and password, we will connect to this ESXi machine and we can manage either this ESXi host and also the virtual machines we can manage from the same browser session. Web browser. We will connect. Now it is responding. We'll enter root Windows 123 @ Now if it is connected to this ESXi machine, and you can see we can manage this machine storage, network and all, and also this the virtual machines which are running on this ESX server. These are all almost 13 objects are running on this ESXi machine. Each one is one virtual machine here. Each row, the icon that you see is a one virtual machine. that we represent here in the VM and OS application. So every machine will have its own operating system and also application running inside it. If you want to see this machine monitor, right click, console, open console, or you can say open another console as well. Any option you can select from there. So it will try, we will be able to. So we can manage whatever the VMs which are running on it. So now, if we have another ESXi machine, okay, let's say its IP address is different. In our lab, it's a 13 actually. We have another server called 13. Okay, another ESXi machine, and there are few virtual machines running on it. Again, you need to open a browser and connect to this machine. So there is another machine called 13.192.168.1.13. Enter. See here, I have opened console. It took some time, and here you can see the Windows machine. So again, I have to connect to 13 and log in with username and password, and every time I need to. If it is one or two, are fine. What if there are 100 ESXi machines like this? Different names. So someone is coming to you and asking, let's say my virtual machine 69 is not working. Can you check what happened with this machine? And we don't know where is that 69 is running. We have to connect to each ESXi machine like this and log in with username and password and check where it is running. PM69 is not running here. It is not running on 13. It is not running. So you have to verify on all of them. Every time you need to connect to the respective ESXi host, and real time also it will take, not take this long, but it will take some extra time to connect. So you have to verify all of 100 ESXi hosts. It will be very headache for this administrator to identify where the virtual machine is running itself. Okay. It will take 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours to identify where it is running. To avoid these kind of issues, they have VMware guys have developed something, an application here this time. Application to manage all these ESXi machines on one interface. They have defined an application. Application where we will install. We have to install on a Windows operating system or Linux operating system. Either way, any of the one of the operating system you needed to install this application. Where you will install Windows or Linux operating system, either physical computer or a virtual computer. As a VMware administrator, we will prefer to be on virtual computer. Anything that we will prefer on a virtual computer. Now build a virtual machine, install Windows or Linux operating system, and install the newly developed application this time. And once you install this application, there is a possibility that you can register this ESXi machine here. You can attach this ESXi machine to this application. This is one-time task. Whenever you build new ESXi machine, add it to this vCenter. Sorry, this application. Once you attach them in our lab, it's called 192.168.1.220. Now we have already registered few ESXi machine with this application. Now instead of connecting to each ESXi host using the browser, just connect to this machine 220. You will be able to see all these ESX machines and also the virtual machines which are running on each machine. You will be able to see on the one screen itself. In our lab, it's a 220. I've connected to the 220 and I can see multiple ESXi machines are connected here. This is one ESXi machine, this is one ESX machine. 150 is here. And also I can manage the virtual machines, the virtual computers from all the three ESXi machines here itself. Instead of connecting one at a time here like this, now I connected to the vCenter 220 box. This one I connected. I can see all of them in one interface. Now it is very easy. Whoever is coming to say, can you power on my Spider VC? My virtual machine name is Spider VC. Can you power on this one or not? Just come here. If it is lot of VMs are there, if you are not able to identify, just type here. Search here. It's a global search here. Who are there with the name? Select whatever the machine that you need. This is the one. Wherever it is in the interface, you will be able to directly navigate there just in a matter of 5 to 10 seconds. Then you can do whatever you want. Right click, all other options will be there. If you want to power off, you can power off here itself. If you want to open its monitor, you can say right click, open console. And if you want to do any other settings, if you want to change, go to edit settings and change. Basically, if I ask you to change RAM in your laptop, let's say 4 GB RAM is there in your laptop. If I ask you to change it to 8 GB RAM, you have to purchase physical RAM memory, power off your laptop, open your laptop at the motherboard, and insert the 4 GB, another 4 GB memory, 4 GB memory inside that motherboard, and complete that, close that lid again, and then power on. That will take around, let's say, 30 minutes to 1 hour. But on a virtual machine, if I ask you to change RAM, just go to edit settings. Here memory is 10 GB. Okay. I will change it to 10. It is in MB, right? That's fine. I'll change it to 11. It was in MB. It was on this machine. I'll see it will be in gigabit. On this machine, if I ask you to change, just go to edit settings. Here also it's in MB. It's a 4 GB. Now I will say 6 GB. That's it done. In less than 5 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds, you have increased its memory from 4 GB to 6 GB. 6 GB memory is allocated. So it's so flexible compared to physical servers. What's working with virtual servers is very quick, and there are a lot of other advantages. And someone was asking like how many applications can we run? Where you are asking about how many applications? Prabhata, can you tell me? Can you ask me the question again? Like where? How many applications in a sense?
Sir, that ESX mission you are saying, no?
ESXi machine.
I have a doubt that at a time.
No, your voice is breaking. Can you please repeat? You can just type here on applications means if you see here, we have one ESXi machine. There are number of virtual machines running on each machine. Every virtual machine will have an application. Another virtual machine will have an application. If ESX machine has 100 virtual machines, 100 different applications. And this machine, another 100 or 200. This machine will have, depends on the number of VMs running on it. Every virtual machine will have an application. So now, what is your question? Where you are want to run, like how many applications? Can you type here, please? Not able to hear you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure, sure.
Understood? You can run multiple applications at a time, and to be exact, on each ESXi machine you have a latest version 1024 virtual machines you can run on single ESXi block. On one ESXi machine you can run 1024 virtual machines. If you have enough RAM here, that means 1024 applications you can run on single ESXi machine. And depends again, if you, let's say, even if you want to install 2 applications in a single machine, again that is possible, but nobody will suggest. On one machine you can run 2 applications also. In that sense, like the number will change again. It depends. You don't need to think about like how many applications, you just think about how many VMs you can run on those. We are not responsible for the applications, we are responsible for VMs. Fine, you understood how we can manage all of the ESXi machines on one interface using this new application, and this application is called VC, Virtual Center. It's a centralized management interface. Multiple ESXi hosts and multiple VMs you can manage from one interface. An ESX machine, physical server with ESX OS installed in it. And this is basically called a host as well. We will see what is the host. Virtual machine, a computer generated with software. Okay. Software computer. Or basically, it's called guest machine as well. The browser we are using, web browser we are using to connect to vCenter application or the ESXi. It's called web client. Client, nothing but just to connect them and manage together on the one interface. I'm using this browser. It's called web client. This interface is web client interface. Using a web browser, I'm connecting to vCenter and I'm connecting to ESXi machine. vCenter, centralized management interface. This is an application which is running inside this machine. Inside this Spider VC, this is one virtual machine running with some application called vCenter in it. This newly Linux-based machine. I have a virtual machine with Linux operating system and the vCenter application installed in it. This is the virtual machine. And I have connected to that application using my browser. I have entered that machine network address and connected to that application. I can see multiple ESXi machines and virtual machines which are registered to it. I can manage all of them in single interface. If someone is coming and asking me to, can you power on my virtual machine? I will just come here and power on. Right click, power, power on. Like this. So our work will be on these virtual machines and ESXi hosts. And ESXi host is a physical server. If you see here how many icons you see, this is 1, 2 or 3. This many physical servers will be there in some location where we have placed them. Each one is one physical server computer. In our lab, we have placed this many physical servers. And each one is installed with this newly developed ESX operating system. We will see how to install that operating system as well during the lab. Okay. And then these are all the virtual machines which are running on top of these ESXi machines together. Okay, these are all the components that we discuss. And this diagram is important. Every day we will be working with these components. vCenter, ESXi machine, virtual machine. I'm talking sometimes like ESXi and sometimes I'm speaking ESX. We'll see the difference later. As of now, whatever I say ESX or ESXi, it's the same. So ESX machine, virtual machine and web client all together, it's called vSphere. The name of the product is called vSphere. VMware is the brand name, company name. vSphere is the product name. They have here. So VMware is just the organization name. And this is the product name, vSphere. And these are the component inside that vSphere. And every day we connect to vCenter and manage all these objects here on this interface. Fine, very important, all four components. These four components of a vSphere. Fine, any confusion or question here at this stage? Any question? And we will discuss about this interface now. So forget as of now this vCenter application, this data center, this cluster as of now. Just see, we know the ESXi machine, we just select that ESXi machine here. Getting started tab. If you go to getting started as a beginner, like we are starting to learn this technology, right, it will be helpful for us. So if you select any object here and if you go to getting started, it will be the definition given by the product vendor like VMware. They have given a definition for this object. A host is a computer that runs virtualization software such as ESX or ESXi to run virtual machines. Okay. That means he is saying this is a physical computer running with ESX operating system will be useful to run these virtual computers on top of it. Okay, that's what it is. And if you select this virtual machine, if you go to getting started, the definition will be about this virtual machine. What is a virtual machine? Virtual machine is a software computer that like a physical computer. It is like exactly like a physical computer and runs an operating system and application. And if you want to learn more, here you can see learn more, explore more, learn more about virtual machines. It will open a new window. You can read about this other components. It will be helpful for people like us. We are learning this product, right? It will be useful. If you have already good experience, you will don't look at this tab itself. Okay, that will be the getting started page. Then go to summary tab. Here you can see the summary of this physical computer. What operating system version is running. I'm saying ESX operating system, right? What is the operating system version? Older version, newer version, what version it is running? So 6.5 here. And what is the hardware model? This is a physical computer. There are different server vendors like HP, Dell, Cisco and all. What hardware it is? Here you can see clearly Dell PowerEdge R320 running with some processor, some amount of memory. Here memory you can see 48 GB memory. Okay. And you can see processor type as Xeon E5 series, Xeon CPU E5-2440 model. And its current utilization here you can see in the terms of graphs. Total CPU and how much is used, how much is free. Total capacity, how much is used, how much is free. Storage hard disk capacity 280 GB and 24 GB is free. Just utilization we can verify here. And the version of the ESXi, we can see basic summary here. Go to monitor. Here we can see different tabs. Under the issues, monitor issues. Here we can see if there is any issue alert raised here on this server. Maybe memory usage is high, CPU usage is high, maybe hardware is failed. So you can monitor from here. Performance tab, the real-time usage, whatever you see here, just values here, here we can see in the graph. The same values you can see in the graph, CPU usage, memory usage, you can see in terms of graphs. If this is real-time value, if you go to chart options, you can see last 1 day, last 1 week, 1 year value also you can see. It was not powered on 1 year back, so it was not showing last year. So in last 1 week, how was it utilized? It was powered off and kept for 3 days like that, and then powered on. Every day in the morning we are powering on in a platter. We are powering off. Today morning it just powered on for 30 minutes. Almost it's been 1 hour and it is utilized. Again, if we power off tomorrow, it will be blank like that. Okay. How it is powered off and what is its utilization like this. It will be helpful to identify the performance of the machine. Not only this object, any object, if you go to performance tab, it gives the same. And task and events. What are the recent tasks performed on the TSXi host and the VMs which are running on it? Somebody reconfigured this machine, somebody reconfigured. That means they go to edit settings and change something. Go to edit settings and change something. And you can see delete power virtual machine. This machine was deleted by somebody. And you can see here who powered off it, who deleted it. Initiator. In our lab, this is the only username we connect with. So for all the logs, it will show same name. In real time, it will be different usernames. Everyone will have their own username, right? So it will show the person name who has deleted this machine. So if you do something by mistake and you say I didn't do that and all, it's not possible. There will be logs clearly about it. Okay? Even though you powered off a machine, if you are very sure you powered off it, you accept it. Nothing wrong, accept. You don't hide that. I didn't power off. You should not say I didn't power off and all, but someone looks at the logs, clearly your name will be here and the time as well. And the VM name as well. Okay, like this. Whatever the recent task we have performed on the TSXi host and virtual machines will be there. Around 50, even 100 logs are available here. So don't try to hide anything when you are working here. Even if you don't work, that's fine. If you do wrong work, that is not accepted. You don't simply touch here and there. If there is any something work to do that, then only you go and do that work only, like that. Okay, hardware status. This is a Dell server, right? Dell R320, and we can see its hardware status here, whether there is any hardware problem or not. As of now, we can see one alert. Here, if I click on alert, power supply 2 is not 0. That means the server will comes with 2 power cables. Our laptop will connect with only charger, only one connection will connect, right? But server computer, there will be two power connections. If you expand here, 2 power cables. We have to connect both of them. In our lab, it is only one cable we have connected. That's why it's showing some hardware failure. Power supply 2 is having a problem. It's a little slow. If you expand, then it will show 2 supplies. Power supply 2 status 0. It's not connected. Even if it is connected and it is showing as 0, that means the power supply unit itself failed in the server. You have to remove and replace with a newer one. So we'll see about those things later. Here we can see hardware health. Sitting here itself, we can see the hardware health of a remote server. Maybe in outside, wherever it is, let it be in anywhere. You can identify its health status here. The alerts which we see here only will be shown individually here. And each and every hardware log will be written here. If you want to understand about particular hardware, you can just select that what happened to that log. But nobody reads here. If logs are full, we'll just reset logs only. 2000 logs are there. Then configure tab. This will be useful every day. Almost everyday work we come to this tab and we will see these tabs during individual lab. Networking topic and storage topics individually. These tabs. Permissions. We can see who is having a permission to log into this machine and access these objects. Like Windows team will have access to only virtual machines. Storage team will have access to only storage part. Network team will have access to only network components. As a VMware administrator, we will have full permissions. If you want to change someone's permission, we select here and go to edit. The pencil icon is always to edit anything. So here we'll change read only, that means limited access. Virtual machine access, only VM they can see because they can't do any other things like that. We can change their permissions here. As of now, leave it. This user has administrator, administrator means like full permissions. Edit, I will change only virtual machine user. Here it will change, role will change to virtual machine user for this SVIT user. Only VMs he can manage now. He can't do anything with ESXi host or storage network. If you want to manage it, there will be a separate topic about these permissions. We will see later. And here we can see the virtual machines which are running on this particular ESXi host. Here you can see which host you have selected, 150, and here itself clearly it's highlighted 150. It will show the VMs which are running on 150 only. But here the VMs that you see are completely running from all the three hosts. This VM may be running here, here, or here. All the VMs you can see here. If you select a particular ESXi host and go to virtual machines tab, the VMs from that respective host only you can see here. And however you manage from here, right click and do whatever the action here, edit settings and all, you can also do from here also. Same options are available, nothing new here. And if you select just a virtual machine here, you can see few options, which are shortcuts for few regular tasks that we do. Instead of always right click and go to power and power off, okay, here only just select and click on here, shortcut, restart the machine, open console. Instead of right click, open console, I can just select this one and open console. These are the frequent options that we work on that virtual machines are listed here. Either you use here or use here, doesn't matter, it's up to you. No one will question. Okay. That's about virtual machine. Data stores, these are storage partitions. We have a separate topic about storage. We will see about them later. Which are the storage partitions attached to the ESXi machine and how to manage them. The same way, network also. There will be a separate topic about networking. We will discuss about these networks later, how to modify, how to create, how to delete. And update manager, this is a patching tool, very, very important. And if you go to any interview, like 99%, there will be a question about this update manager. How to update an ESXi machine, patch an ESXi machine using update manager. We will use just these 4 tabs. Attach baseline, scan, and remediate. Not even 4, 3 only. One will be for creation, that will be one-time task. We will see this about this topic later. There will be a separate class about this update manager later. So these are all the tabs every day we use, and it will be completely GUI only with the mouse only. However, I'm working here, we will be managing the other options. Even if you select virtual machine, and that same tabs will be available. The same way, however, we work on ESXi host, work on this virtual machine. But virtual machine, we don't use these tabs in real time. Basically, we just select right click for virtual machine. If you want to do anything, we just right click, and here these options are useful. For ESXi, select this host, and these tabs will be used. Blindly, when you are working with ESXi machine, don't right click here. Right click also will have few options, but these options we will rarely use. By default, most of the cases, when you select ESXi host, we work with these tabs. When you select virtual machines, we right click on it and we'll work with this option. Okay. That's how basically in real time we work as an administrator. That's about dashboard the interface navigation. And clearly we will see each options individually later during each topic. So any question as of now? And I will share you this recorded session with you so you can review it again if you have any questions. Fine. So, and during next class, we will clearly see what is this, how they have developed this virtual folder to work as a virtual computer, like exactly like a physical computer. I'm saying this is just a folder on the screen. How it works like exactly like a physical computer. That history and all we will see how they have developed, how it works, and who are the competitors for this product. Those history we will see. Any other questions?